Hi, and welcome back to Southern Stew. It's been a minute. I'm Melissa, the oldest, and
Tiffany, the middle.
And Cynthia, I'm the baby.
we're missing one. But yeah, we're finally back, and this is just going to be a brief talk on something that's been weighing heavily on us, and just all the crap that's been going on in the world today. This just has kind of topped us off, and just something to discuss, and we would like to hear what you all think about it in this situation. What would you do? How would you give advice? So, story goes, we know an elderly person that lives in it's like a 55 and older community. Of course, most 55 and older that's retired, living on their just the retirement income. That's all they have. Okay, so a storm blows through and this person has a vehicle that has a truck that has a covered bed. Straight line winds came through, blows the cover off the bed, hits the building, and only does small damage to gutters. That's it. Totally ruins this person's truck bed cover. Ruins it. I mean, it had to be trashed. Okay, fast forward, the person tells the landlord person there that runs, well, I guess you would say the manager of the apartments. They're not the landlord, they're the manager of the apartments. Tells them, hey, the wind knocks this off and hits that, destroyed my truck bed cover. Okay, yeah. So they report it. The company wants to turn this into this lady's insurance and for it to be paid for. First of all, to me, that shouldn't be her responsibility. That should be, it's an act of God. Anything like that, because if you own a home or a place of business, you have to carry insurance on that property.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little confused on the situation. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be totally wrong. So fast forward, this person's insurance denies it and said because it's an act of God, they don't want to cover it. So it goes,
Like 2 months, right?
no,
Two or three
yeah,
months.
2 or 3 months, something like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then gets a letter stating she's got 30 days to pay the full amount or she's evicted.
And the full
Full
amounts,
amount of repairs.
We don't, yeah, I don't want to say. The
it's
full
quite a
amount is a
bit.
lot. It is a lot. It's more than this person's income a month. And if they paid that, they would not be able to pay their rent, would not be able to feed themselves, pay their anything that they have, they would not be able to do.
Well, let's just say this. The amount that they are requesting to fix the gutters or, the
That
minimum
small
damage
amount of
that was
damage.
done exceeds their retirement check a month.
That's what I was saying. Yes,
Like
it
their
exceeds that.
retirement check and half of their next month's check. It's
Yeah,
quite a
it's
bit.
exceeds it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this person offers to pay so much a month until they pay it. But here's the thing. If you I don't understand. She did not deliberately do this. This was done by wind that came through a bad storm. This was not deliberately done.
They pay
And
rent.
to be honest and being honest about how it happened, that they didn't have to even say, "Hey, that came off of my vehicle and did that." This was honest.
Mm-hmm.
And to do an elderly person saying you have to leave and find a place to live. You're gonna be thrown out of here if you don't take care of this. Amazes me. How can you do somebody like that? And I think that's illegal. I really think that's illegal. And not only that, let's just go even further. These people, 55 and older community, there's a lot of people that live in there that is not able to step in, let's say, a high bathtub and get out. There's no railings. If somebody was to fall, there's nothing. There should be absolutely no soaking tubs in an apartment complex for those people. And how are you going to tell somebody that has lived? I've rented before, so I know this is wrong. It has to be wrong. If that person has lived there, let's say 10 years, and that you are responsible to paint it? No, ma'am. No. I rent from you. How are you going to tell an elderly person they got to paint the whole damn apartment?
I don't understand it. I really don't know where that, how. You going to expect, and some of these people are in their 80s, paint an entire apartment and come in and do an inspection and be like, oh, see that spot over there? I'm gonna have to chalk you up on that because you didn't paint it.
Yeah, or you did it wrong, or that's not the color you're supposed to paint, or you got it on the ceiling, now you're going to have to paint the ceiling, or you've got it on the floor, now you got to, you know,
Now,
it's ridiculous.
what's crazy is that I rent, and I've been renting for years. Usually, a landlord will have it in your lease that if you move out, you have a requirements that you have to do, which can require painting. But that usually is taken off with your deposit. But if it exceeds that amount, they can come after you for that money. But with this being an elderly living
Exactly.
facility, it doesn't
Exactly.
seem correct. Now, our friend also said that there was a lot of shady stuff that's happened at this location, as in when this person's not home, the past manager will just come in and just go through their things. She had a painting that was on a wall
Missing.
completely gone. So she had to
Mm-hmm.
put cameras up in her apartment
Mm-hmm.
just to keep an eye on things, which is
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. But what got me though to go back to the storm damage on the paper that she received saying, "Oh, you got to this date to make this payment." At the bottom says that she went against her lease. Says that she purposely damaged the property. That's not purposely damaging the property when storm ripped the cover from the
Yeah,
vehicle.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
And
it's not.
I just
No.
don't get that. I don't. And then knowing that this lady that they pull money from to pay the rent, they know what she makes. So
The other thing is too is like they said, told me that recently they were given a notice saying that they were not allowed to vacuum or clean out their vehicles.
Yeah, you can't. They can't do anything. And um, how it blows my mind. How is it also that you cannot be away more than 2 weeks in a year, a whole year, 365 days, that you cannot be gone from your place, or you are also evicted? If you pay your rent, your bills are paid, your apartment is clean. What do you mean I can't be gone? If I can't go visit my family member out of state for a couple of weeks or a month,
what
who are you
Lord
to tell me that I can't go visit my family if there was
Or
a
a
medical,
vacation.
a vacation? Yeah, but let's say a month. If I had a family member to get ill and I had to go help them to take care of somebody, who are you to tell me that I can't leave my place? That's like prison.
or what got or this is a darker side of it. What if they had a stroke or a heart attack and they had to have open heart surgery and they're gone for
In the
an
hospital.
extended period of time in the hospital? Or if they
Yeah.
got in an accident and it caused them to be placed in a hospital or a rehabilitation facility for a month. Things can happen in life that does not seem fair. It doesn't seem like it could be forced
No, yeah,
lawfully.
it's crazy.
I
That's
don't understand that.
that's the world we live in now. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in.
Well, I think here's what I think. I don't, to me personally, I don't think it's correct. I think,
The owners have a right to do
yeah.
what they want as policies. You know what I mean? They can write whatever. If you
Mm-hmm.
choose to live there, then you have to abide by that regardless. You know,
Yeah.
that's the crazy part about it, and that's the whole point of a lease.
But what gets me
Maybe
is
our lawyer listeners, someone in that
Please give us some info on this.
some info. I mean, we'd like to pass it along, and
Yeah, if we're wrong, we want to know we're wrong. We want to know, we want to know because we honestly don't know. We don't know.
is this person's insurance really liable? I mean, they also pay renter's insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is all good as a structure carry insurance on the building? I mean,
Yeah.
and if you're an elderly or 50 and older facility, don't you have to carry something in case one of them fell on a sidewalk and broke a hip?
I
I
think it
mean,
is required that they have to have it for those
Yeah.
facilities.
I mean,
But I
what?
think with our friend though, the insurance did end up covering it. Our friend had to take that letter that threatened eviction in, and then the insurance covered the.
But here's the thing, I still don't think that's correct. I don't think that person's insurance should have to cover that.
No,
I
I don't
just
either
don't understand that.
Yeah.
because
And to threaten eviction
yeah,
over something that person did not do.
Wouldn't even agree to payments knowing that exceeds their income?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
What are you
right.
thinking?
It's really shady. It's almost like they're like, you know, we're only getting this amount of money from this person because of their income. Let's try to find someone that has a higher income so we can get more money. That's what it comes out to be. And I think that's what it is. That's my opinion. But
No, I just think it's sad what our elderly have to go through. I just think
Yeah.
it's sad, you
it's
know.
just, it's like if a
Work their
tree,
entire lives, you know what I'm saying? And they
yeah,
pay in and all that, and then they get to where retirement age, disabled, whatever might happen, and then it's like they just toss them to the side and they just.
Yeah. And that's just like, our grandmother back in the day, she only got to, she never worked a day in her life. She raised 10 kids.
Hmm.
And our grandfather dies when he was, what, 58, something
Hmm.
like that, with cancer. She never remarried. She only drew her Social Security and our grandfather's off of him. She didn't have nothing hardly. And for her to get denied, and for her, and when she didn't have no money, and to be able to feed herself, she would go. I remember taking her to get food stamps, and they gave her, was it $10?
It was 12.
It was something like that. It
It
was
was
not more. No, it
ridiculous.
was not no more than $20.
Oh, what am I buying with $12?
Yeah,
You
she
know?
would go and buy a
milk
bag
and
of
bread.
flour. No, she would go buy a bag of flour, and I think it was a bag of cornmeal. It's either cornmeal or flour and lard. That's it.
Did she buy soup beans sometimes with it?
It just depends. It
Yeah,
depends.
but she ate a lot of beans, a lot of bread.
She had her canned food that she grew from her
Hmm.
garden or whatever. And she also babysat some of her grandkids in order to make a little extra income. And then, but
She had chickens.
yeah. But yeah,
But
so
yeah, that's
it
our
just kind
story.
of, yeah, so it kind of makes you dread of getting older and having to deal with assholes.
Yeah, we really had to help this our friend of ours with this situation, but it
Well,
was
to the best of our ability, because the
yeah.
thing of it is, like I said, I don't know if we're correct on this. There's a possibility that we're not, but it just blows my mind. Is this what we've come to? Is
Mm.
this how you treat people
Is
that cannot? And I mean, and there's so many homeless people. And for somebody that can at least pay their rent, at least pay bills what they can to survive and to have a roof over their head, you want to take it away from them from a storm that caused it, that this person is a clean person. They don't cause problems. They don't do drugs. They don't do this. They don't do that. They leave you alone. They stay to themselves, just living their life. And this is how you want to treat them.
not only that, they've been living at this place for over 5 years,
It doesn't matter. That's
and
what I'm
they're an
saying.
excellent renter. You would think
Yeah.
you
Shouldn't
would want to
matter
keep
because I
them.
mean, if you're an elderly and you're living in an income-based, retirement community, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, it shouldn't.
So, with that being said, give us, drop us some lines. Let us know, are we wrong? Uh, how do you feel about this? What would you do in this situation if you got this phone call and it was, let's say, your grandmother, an auntie, if it was somebody close to you or a friend? How would you handle the situation? What would you advise to do? Let us know.
Or have you ever experienced something similar to this? What's
Yeah,
your story? Let's
yeah,
hear it. We'll share it on our next our TikTok or live episode that we end up doing. However, just let us know.
yep. But anyway,
Can't wait to hear from you guys.
But thank you guys for joining in on this very short episode. I know it's really short. It's been over a month since we recorded. A lot of stuff's been going on in life. We'll promise we'll come out with a better episode soon.
good night, guys.
Good night. Okay, I know we said good night, but we forgot to say this. Please please follow us. Please help us on our TikTok. We need to hit 10,000 followers on there so we can do live studio on there, so we can be live and you guys can come and interact with us. We want to grow. We want to hear your stories. We want to be able to interact and become a better podcast. So it's you guys that do this for us. So if you can, help us out. Again, good night. See you soon.